Unkillable Warden Healer Build. I used to get Emperor in below 50 PvP. This setup is arguably the best Warden Healer you can use because it's highly tanky, has super high max health sitting around 48,000, and the more health you have, the bigger your polar winds will heal for. Now getting into the build. It's a 5-piece Plague Doctor on the body in full heavy armor. All the enchants are in health. Trait would ideally be infused on legs and chest. The smaller pieces can go in pen. Next, jewelry and weapons. I'm using Mara's Balm. Starting with weapons, sword and shield. I have powered on the sword, and shield can go with sturdy. Resto staff will be powered. Now rings and necklace have the healthy trait. I think this is best to give you higher health. However, you can use swift to make you more mobile. And enchants. I'm using 3 reduced spell cost enchants. Then, for the helmet and shoulders, I'm using Nibene Bay Battle Reeves Monster Set. Yes, you can use monster sets in below 50 PvP, both in heavy armor with max health. Helmet should have the infused trait. Shoulder can go impen. You should have on 7 pieces of heavy armor. Now to be clear, I'm currently level 35. I would say using a level 32 plus would be best so you have more skills and passives. However, using this setup at level 10 should be fine. Now for the skills. Starting with the back bar. Slot 1 is a flex spot. I use this for rapids or shield bubble. However, I would use the Warden Wings here, but I don't have it unlocked. Slot 2 is the Betty Netch. This will proc your Mara's Balm constantly. Slot 3 is guard. Also can be used as a flex spot. 4th slot is Polar Winds. This is your strongest heal and is placed on the back bar really to keep yourself alive. However, you should still swap to back bar to burst heal allies. In the 5th slot is Frost Cloak. For the ult, I'm using Sleet Storm. You could also use this as a flex spot, maybe go with guard or even Warhorn depending on your group's needs. Next, the front bar. Slot 1 is guard. Slot 2 is radiating regeneration. Slot 3 is vigor. 4 is lotus flower. And 5th is leeching vines. Ult is healing thicket. Note, I do not use heals that you place on the ground like healing springs for this build, as it's meant to be mobile and super tanky. I personally was unkillable using this setup in below 50 PvP. You just want to make sure your heal over time abilities are up 100%. Make sure you've got guard on your main DPS. Focus on keeping your sustain up by heavy attacking, then swap to back bar and burst heal anyone with polar winds that needs it. Note, the range is very short, so make sure you are close to your group members, or at least they're close to you. Now for race. I'm a high elf. Honestly, you can use whatever you'd like. For food, I'm using Witch Mother's Potent Brew. Potions, I would use the basic spell power pots you can buy from a siege vendor. And lastly, the boon. I'm using the one that gives you max health. I do think that is best. However, if you're strong in sustain, I guess you can go for the extra recovery. But it won't be the best. The stats are really good. Your polar winds heal for a lot. I was unkillable here in below 50 while I went for Emperor. I even had 2 enemy Warden Healers asking for my build, both on blue and red side. It's very strong. Also, this build setup can work in Grey Host as well as the below 50, even works in Battlegrounds. However, you can't use this setup in no CP because of the proc sets, sadly. Okay, that's the build. Have fun being an ungodly strong healer. Any questions, just comment. I will answer.